Hello, everyone. Welcome again to our new episode of Discovering Digital Creators. Thank you very much, Lhean, for being here with us today. I would love to learn more about you, your art, and your inspirations, and also your perspective around the NFT space. So tell me more about you and how did you get into digital art, and what did you do before that?
Uh, well, Steph, thank you so much for inviting me as well. It's going to be great to be talking to you today. So, yeah, my name is Lhean Storm. I'm from Manila, Philippines. So, before I discovered NFT last February, I was mostly doing traditional art. So, I do painting, I make drawings on paper. So, my medium is basically traditional, like I create physical artworks. So didn't do much of digital prior NFT, but I did a little bit of it, but not too much. And last February, I discovered NFT because I was researching about XRP. Yeah, it's one of the crypto that I've invested in, and so I was considering if I was gonna let go of it, and I was researching about what's gonna happen to my investment, and then that's when I found out about NFT.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's
So
how you got into this space.
yep, exactly. So I got excited because it's a new development. It's something that I haven't done before, and I've seen a lot of opportunities. The moment that I discovered it, like it's another avenue for me to explore a different medium, as well as
Yes.
make a little money out of it, and more if I can, if things go well. And so there were just a lot of opportunity that I saw. So I started um, researching about the different platforms, and in the beginning it was overwhelming for me because I wasn't so public when it comes to social media. Like I was just using Instagram, and my circle of friends, and or I only had a little community. It was very
On
you know
Instagram.
yeah, just my close friends, and then a few collectors who've been collecting my works for years. So it's like that. It's really not the kind of community that we have at the moment. um if you notice, it's just very intense, and
Yes.
for newbies it can get overwhelming.
Yeah, it's the challenge of building the community and then seeing the results later on.
Yeah, exactly. So at first, I was new, and I was not so familiar with the different platforms. So I was in the beginning learning about that, and then at the same time getting to know people via Twitter and all that stuff. I took a break in between Feb, or probably in the middle of March till April. I took a break from Lhean Storm. So I explored the medium way back, but I didn't really pursue um, the medium. So it was only when I got into the crypto art scene that I started working on it again. So going back to what I was telling you earlier, sorry for the interruption.
No
So
worries.
yeah, so it was a bit overwhelming at the beginning, like trying to learn new things, and at the same time working on my artworks. So it became a little bit too much that I took a break from March to um, probably just a week or so, and then I created another account, which is an anonymous account. So I took a break from Storm. So I initially started as Storm, like I was trying to be anonymous because
Y-
I kind of, like, when I got there, I wanted to be myself, but then all of a sudden I was surrounded by a lot of anonymous accounts. Like
yes.
what am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna act around these anonymous people? They have avatars and different cartoon characters, profile pictures. Like, I don't know these people. Like, I just didn't know how to act around them, so I tried to be anonymous. Like, I just used Storm as my handle, not really Lhean Storm with my pictures and stuff like that. But then it didn't work out because, I felt uncomfortable and I didn't really know how to be anonymous.
Because you
Because,
felt that it was not genuine in terms of like communication with your community.
yes, exactly. So it's hard to be who you're not in a way,
Yeah.
because I'm used to just being me, and then all of a sudden I have to, work on being anonymous or not being recognized as me, as Leanne Storm. So it was a bit challenging. So I took a break from it for a little while, and then I created another account, which I'm not gonna reveal. But yeah, but I used that account to sort of um, get to know the community a little bit better, and I've learned the platform as well. So it's good to be anonymous because you can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, and it's sort of like um, pushed me to discover more without inhibiting myself. You know what I mean?
Yes. And
Because if yeah, go ahead.
do you think with an anonymous account you felt that you were able to communicate better with people and gain more attention, for example, for your art?
Well, the account wasn't really meant for my works.
Yes.
It was I created a completely different project for that. So it was a completely different identity. So, but then, yeah, I got to be more comfortable in communicating with the community, and I have gotten to know that it's okay to be dealing with this anonymous people because they're harmless. Generally, of course, there's still some negative stuff here and there, but that's part of it. It's normal. It's part of
Yes.
the entire internet ecosystem. But generally, when it comes to the NFT community, I've just learned that it's safe to be who you are, or to be yourself. So I've gotten to know that in that span of time where I was using this anonymous account to interact with people. And then after that, I got comfortable in introducing myself as me. So, yeah, so that's probably how you found me because I'm now using my real name.
So you kind of like tested out how this market and how this NFT community works before revealing yourself as your real you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
super.
what I did.
That's super interesting. And
Yeah, indeed.
what was your key finding through that experience of kind of like hiding your real identity and taking a kind of like avatar?
Once in a while, I still kind of, you know, um, sound like me, but of course, nobody will know that. But I guess the most important thing there is, even if you're anonymous or you're unknown, people are still very welcoming. So it doesn't matter if you have an identity or not. The community will still accept you, um, whatever you are, unless of course if you have done something wrong, like if you're not really an artist and you're just pretending to be someone, or you have stolen somebody else's artwork, then it's another thing that also made me introduce myself, because I found out that you can't this people who are, for example, stealing artworks from other artists, they can't get away with it because the community will
We
out
flag
them,
them,
or
yes.
yeah, will call them out. So because last February I kind of noticed, like, hey, why are these artworks selling when these are not really authentic
Mm-hmm.
artworks? Like, these are just stolen artworks, and the collectors couldn't, like, had no clue or no idea. They're just buying the hype and all that stuff. So at first I got turned off by that, because how come these people don't realize it, or don't even you know, take time to research on the artist or the works.
So
So it's kind of it turned me off a little bit in the beginning, but then in the long run, things got better.
so it's actually quite interesting because actually I have seen this problem of some people stealing artworks of real artists, and actually once I almost fell into this trap because there was a
Mhm.
really nice artwork that he was selling on Rarible, and actually
Mhm.
it was something that it was very polished and really like a good technique and everything, and it was
Mhm.
selling for about $100. Um, and it seemed to me that it was a bit strange and it was not a certified a verified rarible artist, and then
Mhm.
someone bought it, someone that is in another collectors community, and then it turned out that
Mhm.
it was a stolen artwork, but it was very easy for the real artist to keep track and to reclaim that. So I don't know what happened in the end, if the collector got the money back or not, but these kind of things happen quite often.
Ye- Yeah, it's very sad because as artists, I mean, if they're really if they are artists themselves and not just pretending to be artists, we usually call that out, right? Because we don't want to be copied by like big companies, or we don't want them stealing our artworks. And then if you are an artist and you're doing that to another artist, like stealing that person's work and then making it your own, then it's really heartbreaking. I mean, it's so heartless.
Yes, definitely. It's just people who want to profit from others who are doing that. I think it's definitely not genuine people.
Yeah, and I really think as an artist, you should be, proud of what you can create, because you're given that gift to be able to come up with something, like create something from scratch. Yeah,
Yes.
like you have a blank canvas and you just have an idea, and then you're able to execute it, whether it's good or not. It is yours. It is something that you have created out of nothing. So it still makes me wonder sometimes why there is a need for you to steal another person's work and then make it yours. I sometimes don't get it, but I think that's something that, artists should realize, that you were given that gift to be able to create, to express yourself, to make your own ideas into like a visual piece of work. So
Yes.
I think, each one should really take good advantage of that.
Yeah, I personally think that the people who are actually doing that, they are not artists. They are just scammers. But yeah, that's
Well,
how something that happens in the internet.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and tell me more about your work and your creative process. Where do you get inspiration from?
um, in the beginning, I didn't have any style at all, so it took me years to finally find a style that people can recognize that it is mine. So the moment that they see my art, they know instantly that it's mine, especially for the people who really followed my art for years. So I got really inspired by psytrance. It's a sub genre of trance.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're familiar with electronic dance music, so it's the more hypnotic kind of trance. So I got inspired by the culture surrounding it as well. So I started creating psychedelic works, and it just started from there. Then I love details. I love colors. I love neon colors, and then I mixed everything all together. Um, yeah, that's basically how, the initial push for me to create this my current style.
That's interesting. So you find inspiration on music,
Yes, exactly.
and
That's um basically that's where I get it. That's how I got um sorry. You should cut this part.
okay.
Because I choked. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. I got inspired by music. That's how it all started. when it comes to my art style, it's related to the underground music culture related to psytrance. But when it comes to the subjects of my art, it's whatever I get inspired. Um, that's certain um, period of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I get inspired by a lot of things basically. But whatever happens to me, like I make sure that I get inspiration from anything that I come across.
And how about your style? How do you make sure that you are creating something that represent the kind of aesthetic that you want to convey and make it like personal?
Kind of a difficult question. It's like I'm in the Miss Universe. Well, everything comes naturally. So, especially when I doodle, when if you notice my artworks got these various lines, right? Thick and thin
Yes.
lines together. So I do that spontaneously. So without thinking much of anything. I know what the subject's gonna be like, but then when it comes to these lines, they're all spontaneous. So I just do it in the moment.
So it's kind of like in some way you are playing with in some way with spontaneity, a bit like Jackson Pollock, who plays with the
Paint.
spontaneity. He drips the paint on the canvas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I just do it like automatically. If you're familiar with the automatism technique, where of course it's different because they have to they're more focused on the hypnotic side of it, but it's a little bit like that also. So whatever comes naturally, I just do it without thinking much. Because if I think, then that's when I encounter creative block.
Yes.
So I just let it flow, just like music. Just doodle, and then I'll think about the colors later on.
That's interesting. And what is your favorite piece so far from your portfolio?
This year, it's probably this latest work of mine. It's still available on the foundation website. Uh, it's Sapios at the Magical Kingdom.
So
So
what
there's an
what is the story behind that artwork?
so I created this artwork back or a few years back, but it's a completely different image. So it's still the same character. It's a Sapios character. So she's uh partly human, also a fairy or an alien. So I can't really figure out what she is. But the
Mm-hmm.
concept is she's 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 not human. 100%. That's all I know. She, she's probably a fairy or an alien. So I like this one because it's I want to convey magic in my works as well, and then there are aliens at the back and then a little bit of mushroom. So she's in an imaginary universe
Yes.
where um, ethereal beings, spiritual beings, and humans can coexist
Yeah.
visibly. It's some kind of um, it's just that kind of magical universe where everybody gets along.
Okay. That sounds interesting. And for example, would you be in the future interested to explore all these kind of like create this imaginary universe, maybe in a digital format, maybe like in the metaverse, create like some sort of experience once the metaverse, I mean the metaverse is already here, but once there's more development, is
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually thinking about that. If you notice, I keep sharing Saro's museum, so I really like what he's been doing. Like
mm-hmm.
he created a museum, and then right now he's developed a meta portal. So I haven't talked to him yet, but I really like it. So I like that idea where I can probably develop more into creating 3D artworks in the future. So it's gonna take a lot of my time, but I'd be willing to learn in order for me to create this whole new universe and make it like moving, probably make it all 3D
Yeah.
and interactive, something like that.
Yeah, so are you interested in, for example, learning about Unity and doing some interactive artworks in the future?
Possibly, because I'm really interested with technology, so I'm just taking it slow, just like when I'm creating my artworks. I don't want to pressure myself too much,
Yeah.
but I'm so interested in the technology and the development that we have at the moment. So I still have no idea how to do most of it, but yes, there'll be a really awesome kind of experience. Who knows, like before the year ends. So it's still a long way to go. We're not halfway through the year yet, so there's still a lot of possibilities coming in for sure.
That's really interesting. Yeah, and right now there are lots of also blogs and teaching artists also how to try different techniques, also like Udemy courses and lots of things that people can check and also learn new techniques. That's really cool. And so how do you see yourself growing as an artist?
Well, my main goal right now is because my goals have changed when the pandemic kind of struck all of us. So I had plans, and then all of a sudden the pandemic came. So I like to think of it as say my goals have become flexible when it happened. So I guess my goal is just to simply expand my body of works.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's a good thing that I have explored crypto art, and I've also learned a little bit about animation. So just a little bit, but at least it's something that I have added to what I've already been doing. So it's a good thing. And also, I really enjoy doing a lot of illustration using Procreate. So it's something that I haven't really done in a consistent basis.
Yes.
So I haven't done it consistently in the past because I used to just work with paintings and drawings. So right now I'm doing both. So it's a good thing. So the my main goal is to mix these two in one exhibition.
And
So hopefully it will happen.
yeah, yeah, looking forward for that. And also, do you collect digital art? And if so, what are you looking for when you are buying some artworks?
Well, I just buy whatever I like, but I stopped collecting a little bit recently. So before I started selling artworks through NFTs
Mm-hmm.
through my anonymous and Lhean Storm. Well, I only sold one. Um, yeah, I tried to collect artworks just to get to know platforms, and how it
Yes.
works. So I just pretty much buy whatever I like. Anything related to cats, if it is colorful.
Yes.
Yeah, and also I take a look at the artist a little bit. So I make sure that they really created the digital art, no matter how simple it is or anything. I make sure that I get to know the artist and make sure that my money is being spent on the right person.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, you can lose it, and you are not able to resell it if after you want to sell it.
Yeah, exactly. You're right about that.
Yeah. And what do you think it can be done for artists in order to help you create more? What do you think platforms can do for artists that they are not currently doing?
Well, right now I noticed that Foundation has a different, or they updated something. Um, they added a search tab, I think, or a search, what do you call that, search box, and then it felt like my artworks disappeared because these artworks of mine have been listed for a little while now, probably for weeks. And I think what's best is for these platforms, especially Foundation, because I like the interface of Foundation. It's very easy. It's uh, it's easy to navigate and very friendly for newcomers if you really think about it. But the disadvantage is that if it's hard to find artwork sometimes. Like for example, I listed my artworks weeks ago, so I would want to see them exert an effort on um, developing features or tabs for people to easily find these artworks, even if they've been listed like months ago or days
Mm.
ago. Because right now, what's I only see the ones with bids and the new artworks or the featured artwork. So what if you're not featured there? So can easily be forgotten or your artwork will just disappear. So
Mm.
for the collectors to be able to just easily view the artworks on the platform itself without completely depending on social media, that'd be great.
Yeah, you mean like having better searching algorithms to make sure that artists have more visibility within the platform, and like yeah, the artworks don't get lost and forgotten.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a better rotation on the featured artworks, and make it equal, not only the most popular artist or the meme artist, whatever,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's that's a fair point. And do you have any recommendations for new people entering the NFT space, new artists getting into the space? As you already have like quite like a long time compared to the majority of people who are entering this space like right now. Yeah, what would you be your recommendations for them?
Um, well, first thing is, to be honest, what I would recommend is for them to make sure that they're quite comfortable with how they handle their finances.
Yes.
Because when you get into the and if when you're selling art, creating NFTs, in the beginning, unless if you choose other platforms, but if you're in the Ethereum blockchain, you need to spend money sometimes, right?
Yes, and do you think also like artists also should do more research about pricing their artwork?
Mm, yeah. So yeah, research on almost everything or on everything, like starting from crypto, understanding the different terms, like anything about crypto art, probably research on the OG, the history, and understanding the platform that they're going to be using, and getting to know the community as well. So, and then a lot of um, training the mind to maintain that balance,
Mm-hmm.
because when once you get into the NFT scene, it's like you have this kind of urge to stay awake 24/7 to make things work, so it's very important for you to also take a break
Yes.
once in a while. So yeah, that's probably it. So if you don't know things, well, you can just ask anyone in the NFT community, because they're very, very helpful, and almost everyone is willing to help anyone who needs help. It's really good.
Yeah, really nice community. Amazing.
Yeah. Did I make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you so much, Lian. It was great to speak to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Twitter at Snifty, or visit our website snifty.com to know more about what we are building, a social network based around NFTs for digital artists, collectors, and curators.